As this is my first flight in over a year. It is 2:30 in the morning. I have just finished packing both of my bags, 1 and 2, and tomorrow I'm going to board my first flight in the last year. I'm extremely nervous, but I'll talk to you guys in the morning. What's up, boys and girls? Good morning. Today is a big, huge day. So last night you guys saw me in a bit of a panic after packing all my stuff. Besides the packing, today is a big day because I'm going to be flying for the first time in a very, very long time. I don't know how to explain how nervous I am because it kind of is coming in waves. I woke up today at 6 in the morning and I only slept for 3 hours, and I've already used the bathroom probably 10 or 15 times. This is what happens when you have a built-up anxiety, especially with flying, is that you gotta use the bathroom. And the point of this video, the whole point of me documenting this experience, is going to be hopefully to help somebody who has a fear of flying as well. So one thing before we really start this video off, I wanna make sure that you guys go check out the last video I made, which kind of explains my whole background with my fear of flying. I get into the nitty-gritty details of why I've developed this fear of flying in the first place, and how it makes sense in my life as a travel video creator. But that being said, we do have to do one thing before we kick off this video, and that is roll the intro. Hey, welcome back from that intro, straight to the toilet. The reason why I'm bringing you guys here is because this video needs to be as real and as honest and as, truthful to what actually happens to me when I'm flying, and I want to show you guys the whole process, especially for those of you guys who are dealing with the same issue. So this is what a typical day, maybe even 2 days before a flight looks like for me. I'm essentially sitting on the toilet for most of the time. My nerves are just acting up, telling me that bad things are going to happen, and it just results in me being on the toilet all the time. The active effort today is to not do that. And we are going to head off to the airport very, very shortly. But before we do, I want to tell you guys some factors that might come into play when it comes to me overcoming my fear of flying. For one, my fear of flying really only involves the takeoff of the plane. I don't have this irrational fear that a lot of people do of the plane going down or crashing or something. I have that normal fear like most people do of like the worry, because it just doesn't feel natural to be up in the air in like a metal tube. But my fear really only comes into play when it comes to the takeoff of the airplane. It's those few seconds where the plane is going full throttle and there's lots of noise and the plane's sort of shaking. That's the only moment on the flight that actually scares me. As well, in addition to that, I was prescribed by my cardiologist a medicine called propranolol. Propranolol. Propranolol is this tiny little pill, as you can see, very small, and is also known as a beta blocker. I don't know the intricacies and the science behind it, but essentially what it does is slow your heart rate down. It doesn't allow your heart to exert too much. It doesn't let you go super fast. It doesn't let you develop those crazy fast heartbeats. The reason it helps me is because one of my biggest fears of flying is when my heart goes too fast, my heart starts palpitating or skipping beats, and that's what onsets the whole anxiety of this whole situation. That's the root of this whole issue, which is why you should check out the last video I made. So after speaking to my cardiologist and getting this medicine prescribed to me, I also found another YouTuber through the wonderful comments that some of you guys left me. Her name is Amy from Kinging It, and she actually talked to me about the same situation that she deals with. She actually made a whole video about it on her channel. You guys should definitely check them out. I'll link them in the description. She's just the sweetest woman. She helped me calm down so much about flying and my flight anxiety because she deals with almost the same exact thing that I do, and she solves it by taking propranolol before she flies. I tried this propranolol yesterday for the first time. The effects are almost negligible to me. I can't really feel it. I'm also a bigger guy, and so I think I might need to take a few of those to really feel it. But for me, it didn't do much other than, just slow my heart rate by a little bit and just make me a little tired. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm feeling really good and confident today about getting on this flight. There's another whole giant factor as to why I feel so confident, but I'm going to tell you guys about that when we're on our way to our Uber. And when I say we, well, you'll find out in a second. Another thing to talk about is that there's a whole new set of anxieties that kind of onset when you're thinking about long-term travel. This trip is, I think, the first time I'm knowingly going on a very long trip. Almost every time that I've left, I've always planned on returning within a month or two. and then it always just stretched out. This is the first time I've ever planned on leaving for a very long time. And there's different sort of anxieties and fears that onset from stuff like that, things like saying goodbye to your family and your friends and things that you were taking care of back home. That's a whole other side that comes into effect with this fear of flying as well. It's something that not a lot of people think about, and I think it kind of creeps up on you. What it comes down to is that when you accept something like that, there's a whole new set of fears and things that onset from it. And so the whole point of today is combating all of that. We're looking it right in the face, and we're saying, nah, you ain't gonna scare me. We're gonna fly, baby. All right, so I'm leaving the house right now, but the third sort of factor that I was mentioning, and this is a sort of crutch of mine that I'm going to be hanging on right now, but it's something that not everyone's gonna have access to, and I am aware of that, but it is, dun, 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 dun.
Me!
It's
Steve
Mr.
Yellow.
Steve.
Hey.
How's it going, Steve?
Wonderful, how are you?
Good, good. Welcome back to the channel. Steve and I are about to go on an epic adventure. We need to jump in an Uber real quick, and I'm gonna explain more about why Steve is helping me out on this journey right now. Okay, gracias, amigo. Hey, Steve. Hey, how's it going, bro?
Made it to the airport.
We're at the airport. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great. Some good stuff. I want to talk to Steve in a sec, but let's check into the airport real quick, check into our flight, and we'll chat a little bit more about what the heck is going on. This is crazy, guys. I haven't been to an airport in a year. So, listen, I haven't explained myself well. Me and Steve are about to head off on an adventure together. We're going to Barcelona.
First, we're traveling all around Spain and Portugal and then the rest of the world.
We have a very big trip planned. I'm gonna tell you guys all the details later. But today, once again, our first mission is to sort of try to break through this flight anxiety. And that's why Steve is here. So right now is probably the beginnings. This is where the onsets of the anxiety really start for me. And I think for most people that I've understood, this is the security, the check-in of the flight. It's all the nitty-gritty details before you actually board the plane. This is where you're starting to tense up. Steve is here because I flew him out here, essentially. We have been planning this trip for a very long time, and I told Steve a little while ago that I was afraid of flying, or I developed a fear of flying, and Steve, being as awesome as he is, was totally cool with sort of like, when I say figuratively, holding my hand through this experience, because I really do need the help. And that's why I'm saying that this particular part of the whole getting over anxiety of flying is not, it's not gonna be universal for everyone, because I understand that not everyone's gonna be able to just bring Steve along with them. Not everyone has access to somebody cool who's able to just, you know, come board a flight and come meet them somewhere and then fly with them. But hopefully this is like one part that can maybe normalize it for you and show you how we're gonna, I guess, cope with it figuratively while we're flying. I'm not 100% sure what's gonna happen at this point because I feel so okay. So we right now are in Fort Lauderdale. We're flying to Newark, and then we're gonna be flying to Barcelona. So the nice thing is, out of the gate, for this fear of flying of mine, I have to essentially, because we have a connecting flight, jump into this fear twice. Like, instead of just flying directly to Barcelona and dealing with just one takeoff, I'm gonna have to deal with a takeoff, a landing, and a takeoff again, and another landing. I have to jump right into it. There's no escaping it. It's just like you have to go head on first, and I'm gonna show you guys some tips once we actually get on the plane of some things that I do to cope right before the takeoff begins, which is that the whole climax of this is the scariest part, quote unquote. All right, we'll catch you guys on the plane. So it's been a few hours since we've last spoke. Some things have changed. Our flight has been delayed 2 hours now. This is our flight right here. Supposed to take off 1:30, 3:48. We are still yet to board the flight at the moment. We've been sitting here just like sulking in the juices of about to take off for the last like 2 hours. I'm definitely feeling a little more anxious about to board this flight, but we're gonna board the flight. Steve's sitting right next to me, so we're gonna be able to experience it. And once again, I'm gonna show you guys kind of the process that I go through before we board the flight. All right, guys, it is final moments right now. Everyone's boarding.
I've been doing my best to distract this man, but it's time to get on the plane.
It's time to get on the plane. I'll be honest, I'm definitely a little nervous right now, but I'm also extremely tired, so I'm not sure what's more of a feeling right now. We're gonna board the plane, and let's talk about it. I'm definitely feeling my heart rate going up a little bit. It's interesting.
13, service to Newark through the doorway, mark C2.
Ma'am? Whew, I got a little nervous there. My anxiety's starting to build up. I thought we were gonna have to check in near our bags. We were both kind of looking at each other there.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some issues going on where they were making people pay to check their bags because they didn't fit, but we just kind of skittle-dabbled
on in. I'm gonna be honest right now. Hands are shaking a little bit. Feeling a little bit nervous, for sure. But feeling confident, feeling good. I just keep reminding myself in my brain it's gonna be all right. Let's go take our seats. All right, we're in. That was a little bit of a doozy trying to get our bags in the plane. I'm shaking right now. So this is something that I wanted to talk about really briefly. If you have flight anxiety and you're trying to look up to something bigger to try to give you some sort of moral support, I happen to be Jewish, and you don't have to be Jewish for this. You could be a religion, or you don't have to have a religion, whatever you want. But we have a little prayer that's just like a prayer for success on the road, whether you're driving or you're flying or you're taking a boat. So I usually do this little prayer. It's called Tfilat HaDerech. Before any flight, just do a quick prayer just to thank something bigger than you for getting you along the way. And that's something I recommend to anybody. It's just take a second before your flight, try to calm down, breathe, relax, and initiate the process of traveling this way.
Would have encountered on the way if we left on time. We probably wouldn't have wound up in Newark. We would have wound up somewhere probably closer to Harrisburg or Baltimore, something along those lines. So right now the weather's pushing through Philadelphia.
All right, so we are beginning the taxi process right now. We're moving on to the runway. Feeling good so far. Update, nothing new has happened. Shaking has stopped.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good afternoon to you and welcome aboard United Flight.
Alright, so this is the point where usually, and I'm feeling it right now as well, is like pinnacle of anxiety. My heartbeat starts building up right now in anticipation for the takeoff because we're just probably a few short minutes away from doing it right now. Feeling pretty good, not too bad right now. Definitely building up a little bit, but I think overall it's going to be okay. Right now we were just watching the safety video, and the entire time it was just, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, I think when they're playing all these things you can and can't do and telling you what you should be following and all that, it adds to the pressure maybe being in here. Yeah, so we're just, I guess when we start taking off, I'm going to just talk to Steve and hopefully we can do this really quick. I can't, I'm being raw right now. This is raw, like anxious material, so I'm sorry if it's not making too much sense. What's happening, Steve?
So there's just an announcement from the pilot who says we have a new takeoff time. It's currently just after 4 p.m. and he says our new takeoff time is 7:30 p.m. But that means we're not going to make it to our connecting flight because our connecting flight is supposed to take off from Newark at 7:30.
So we are essentially missing our flights to Europe tonight.
We'll figure it out.
All right, we are disembarking the plane now, and we're gonna figure out what the heck happens next.
Nobody's going back.
All right, here's what it looks like when a flight gets canceled. Everybody's just lining up. This is so much fun, Steve, right?
What is going on?
All right, this fiasco is over for today. This is a great beginning to this video. We got rebooked flights for tomorrow. Instead of flying through Newark, New Jersey, we're going to Washington, and then we're gonna fly from Washington to Spain. We got issued those new tickets. We have to spend a whole nother day now in Miami and just chill out back home and get prepared again. So I'm gonna go back to my house now, and then I'll recoup and talk to you guys about my feelings about today, and we can continue this tomorrow. None of this was planned, by the way. This is all by chance. But I think it's really cool because we actually got to experience sitting on the plane, taxiing in the runway. We'll talk about it later. Ooh. And welcome back to my room, just like that, ladies and gentlemen. This was a weird freaking day, to say the least. Also, sorry for the change in quality. I didn't realize I was shooting in the wrong format this whole time. Alright, so the game plan is tomorrow morning we try this again. I feel at an all-time chill right now with this flight. I'm sure that there'll be a little bit of nerves as we got to experience today on the flight sitting down in those seats, but before we boarded the flight I was thinking how cool would it be if there was a service that took somebody into a plane and just kind of let them familiarize themselves with a plane without flying. Kind of get them comfortable sitting in a plane. And that's kind of what today was like. It was like 45 minutes of just sitting inside of a plane not doing anything. Just getting ready to take off but never actually taking off. It made me feel way more comfortable. Today I realized this video is going to be way longer than I expected it to, but hey, we're going to defeat flight anxiety together, and that'll start tomorrow morning. So we will see you guys at the top of the morning tomorrow. Okay. Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlefish. We're off to another great start today in the morning. It has been thunderstorming since last night, and we woke up today and our flight got delayed again for another 30 minutes, so it's not that bad. Those 30 minutes have been up, we waited the delay here in my house, and now we're going to jump into an Uber and head back to Fort Lauderdale International Airport and hopefully get on the move to Europe. Good morning, Steve.
Hello.
Are you excited to try this again?
Here we go. Hopefully we actually get on a flight today. Well, get in the air. on the plane.
We have quite a bit of Florida stormage going on right now.
Yeah.
So I think I understand why the flight was delayed, but we need to get out of here. It's Steve's birthday in a day.
Yeah, come on. Tomorrow's my birthday.
We want to go. All right, round 2, Fort Lauderdale International Airport. Let's try again. Security success, Steve-O. We did it.
Real quick, I want to say something.
Say it.
The worst thing ever about this airport is the fact that there's Auntie right here. So when you're waiting in line for security, you're just like
Smelling.
salivating, and you're like, oh man.
You smell these delicious pretzels, and it's probably so expensive, so not worth it.
Yeah.
But I have been formulating in my brain a little bit more thoughts about anxiety when it comes to flying. Some interesting things I wanted to relay.
Okay.
So today I woke up feeling, I'm like 100%. I think I'm above 100% right now.
Yeah?
And not only that, I think I'm just exhausted. Like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's been so frustrating going back and forth from the airport and going through security again. And I just want to get out of here already.
Yeah.
But the basic thing that I've been thinking about, this is what I've been formulating in my brain about. I think the core and the root of the fear is, and this might be something that you guys experience as well. I think the biggest part of the fear is sitting on the plane during the takeoff and just having that sort of lack of control with the anxiety, sort of like a panic attack or a scare, having some sort of irrational condition, whether it's a heart attack or like a seizure or a stroke, just thinking of the worst possible things and being stuck on the plane. I think that is the root of what all this fear is coming from. And what I've been doing to try to remedy that is, you haven't had a stroke or a heart attack for the last 20 years, 23 years, nothing like that has ever happened to you, haven't even gotten close. Why would it all of a sudden happen in this like 2-hour window of a flight? So that's been a strategy that I've been thinking about. Our flight is late, the one that we're about to hop on right now, to Washington, D.C. We are given a window of about 12 minutes or 15 minutes to actually make it to the next flight to Barcelona. And it looks like we're gonna miss it at the moment. And so that'll be our second day missing another flight. And we're not 100% sure what to do. So that's the sort of stress that's building up right now. We're trying to figure out how we're actually going to get to Europe in the next day. So we'll keep you guys updated. We're about to board the plane right now, and then we'll figure out if we can finally take off on the plane in this video. It'd be really great if this video ended and we never fly. That would be hilarious. All right, Steve.
Here we go. Hopefully this flight actually takes off this time.
Please. Just want to take off already.
This will expedite the boarding process. We are ready, but we can't close the door till everybody's in their seat.
If you're seated in the exit row, now is a good time.
We're doing it, Steve?
Here
we go. We are officially on the flight.
Please also pay attention to the following.
The captain just came online announcing 3 challenges. If I didn't have a fear of flying, it was giving me anxiety. We now have to deal with thunderstorms, the flight itself, and then potentially missing our connection, which is just...
It's great.
I don't even have the brain capacity to deal with the anxiety of flying right now. Like, they have not allowed me to have that. So at this point, I don't know what this video is. We're just hoping that we actually get off the ground soon, and then we're able to make it to, where are we going? To DC.
DC, then Barcelona. We
So-
want to go. We just want to go. It's my birthday tomorrow. I just
time.
want to be having a birthday.
All right, we're gonna catch up with you guys at takeoff, because I think at this point, I have nothing really to report on. Something weird that's happening right now. My heart rate's not going up, but I'm getting like a hot flash. My ears are really hot. My ears are just warm. My general face feels warm to the touch right now. I think it's just because I'm nervous, but my heart's racing now. Yeah, but not in like a bad way, and just like I'm an excited type of way. As long as I keep talking, I can't shut up during takeoff. We gotta just keep talking and work our way through it. But here we go. We're officially on the runway now. We're just gonna take in. Listen, we're gonna take off. So this is the moment right now. This is it, guys. We're doing it. Here we go. This is the build-up. This is everything I'm afraid of.
It's gonna get a little loud. So
It's a little loud right now. You might not be able to hear us, but now you probably can. Actually, you know what? This isn't bad at all. I'm totally good.
Yeah?
My heart's not even really going fast.
Because I'm here.
We're doing it. We're taking off, guys. This is step number 1 of hopefully a good trip. Here we go. Here's the roll-up, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the roll-up.
I'm gonna take a little,
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum,
take a
bum.
little time lapse.
Go for it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and we have liftoff. Ooh, there she is. Oh, God. lot of pressure.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling great. We're in the air. Guys, this is my first flight in over a year as a travel vlogger. This is an accomplishing moment. I feel amazing right now. Just, I guess for those who want to get really technical right now, I'm experiencing a little bit of maybe like a heightened heartbeat, but that's it. It's almost completely negligible at this point. So I'm really excited to test the tides in the next flight. I think they just either dropped the gear or extended the flaps, and the sound just increases by a little bit, and that tends to trigger certain people. I definitely used to trigger me until I learned exactly what it was, but we're literally probably 2-3 minutes away from landing right now. How's the flight for you, Steven?
It's good. I wish it was a little bit quicker because
Our flight left, didn't it?
flight
Or is leaving now?
leaves in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Nice. Alright, let's figure out how we get to Europe.
Smooth.
Shibbolemi. We did it.
What happened to C11?
Did it leave?
So is that okay? We put the late arrival customer there in front of us.
We literally just missed it. Last you saw of us, it was about, 6 p.m.? And we were really defeated about the fact that we missed our flight. We have since then been in a whirlwind of emotions with United Airlines. It's been just a fantastic opportunity to learn and experience that airline to its full capabilities. And it was so wonderful that we've actually left United Airlines now. And we're joining Lufthansa. So we're going to Germany. That's a surprise destination.
Yay!
All right, so we are boarding this flight right now. It's like 10:30 p.m. We're going to Germany. Tomorrow, when we arrive in Germany in the morning, we have to hop on another flight to Barcelona, putting us in Barcelona a full 3 days after our intended journey to get there. I guess for anxiety's sake, I have had not 1 minute to even ponder the possibility of having a heart palpitation or anxiety on the flight, because I literally haven't had time. We have been running around this airport all day, either standing in lines, being angry with people, or getting hung up on the phone by customer service, or whatever it be. So we're about to board this flight with Lufthansa, and I mean, I guess I'll film the takeoff. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really tired. All right, boarding flight number 2.
Oh, I know.
Steve, you ready for this one?
Yes. I'm so ready. I was ready 35 hours ago.
Only one more flight to go, and then we're finally gonna be in Barcelona. All right, guys, we made it on the plane. We're on our Lufthansa flight. Good morning, bright and early, ladies and gentlemen, from Munich, Germany. When we left Fort Lauderdale yesterday, I was definitely not expecting to end up here. It was not part of the routine, but we're here. Look at it. Everything's so German outside. Well, what do we have here?
We have a birthday boy.
That's a birthday backpack boy fresh off the escalator. Happy birthday, Steve.
Thank you.
How's your birthday been so far?
It's been wonderful. just delightful.
We're gonna make this up to him, especially when we get to Spain. I think we're gonna have some time to enjoy, but the focus is to keep up in high spirits while we're here in the airport. We are about to board our next and final flight, and that's going to be to Barcelona. It's about a 3-hour flight, and we're heading back onto a smaller plane now. So we went from a small plane to a really big plane, back to another small plane. And I think another thing that I've noticed now, I'm being more attentive to paying attention to things that might be triggering my anxiety while flying. The bigger planes seem to just makes everything feel a lot better. I think the fear of actually getting on a bigger plane is bigger than getting on a smaller plane because it feels less comfortable. But on the actual bigger plane, you barely feel the takeoff, you barely feel the landing, you barely feel any of the turbulence. It feels very, very comfortable. It's kind of hard. As long as you close the window and don't pay attention, it really doesn't feel like you're moving on a plane. So we're about to hop onto another small plane. I'm right now at like minimal nerves. I have almost nothing. I think it's literally just the getting ready for that next takeoff. But other than that, I'm feeling almost nothing when it comes to a sense of anxiety or fear. So in summary, I mean, I understand this might not be possible for everybody, but a really good scenario that I'm thinking for a lot of people who might be dealing with this is maybe look at what I've been doing in this video. Unfortunately, a lot of this was by accident, but maybe jump into it head first and try to take a bunch of connecting flights. Like, book yourself a really inconvenient flight to get to your destination. Make yourself take off, land, take off, land, take off, land, take off, land. Especially if you have somebody else to do it with you as well, like a friend. In this case, I have Steve. If you can find yourself a friend to come along and do something like that with you, maybe that could help you alleviate, you know, the anxiety. I'm sure that once we land now and don't fly for a while, that'll build back up. But this could be a solution, potentially. But I guess we'll find out when we jump on our next flight.
Do my birthday dance, what I do my birthday dance.
Alright guys, we've boarded plane number 3. Looks like we might have an open seat right here. I'm gonna record this one kind of quietly. Mr. over here has fallen asleep, so I'm essentially doing this takeoff by myself, which means I'm a little bit nervous because I don't have anybody to talk to, but we're gonna try to make it through either way without freaking out. I think it's gonna be alright. I'm feeling really good going into it. I have just gotten my first palpitation, and I think this whole journey, a very small, tiny little flutter of my heart rate. I'm not sure exactly why. I feel pretty calm, and my heart rate isn't really increasing much. But I guess it's just the onsets of being a little nervous about, I guess, doing this on my own, even though I'm not really. Alright, I'm documenting this to document it. Heart rate is now going. We're running. My heart rate is definitely up. I think we're just getting ready to take off. So there's some sounds kicking in, which is usually what makes it happen. But I guess the second I pulled out the camera, it kind of stopped. There we go. Let's see if we can hold this out. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully you can also see the takeoff happening behind me. Feeling okay right now. No issues as long as I have the camera on me. Yeah, definitely feeling a little bit of a increase in my heartbeat for sure.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey.
Where are we at?
Yeah, we're in Barcelona. Welcome.
There we go.
There it is. Alright, well, this was a cop-out then. I was recording a whole bit about how I was going to do the takeoff without waking you up.
I woke up.
Well, thanks, man. Now I feel 100%. Oh, man, that's so stupid. I should be able to do it by myself at this point. Alright, at least you guys got to see the most... That's the most anxious I've gotten, I think, during this whole trip so far. Just a little bit. I'm almost certain I could probably do it by myself at this point. But, you think so?
You got this.
I mean, we are currently taking off, and I feel...
Here we go.
Look at that.
That's it. We're off to see the wizard.
Bam, chicka, wow, wow, baby. Alright. Spain, here we come.
Alright, man. After how many hours? Like
Flight number 3, baby.
72 hours of travel?
That is
Finally
3
made it.
full days to get from Fort Lauderdale to Barcelona.
We made it, man.
We did it. We freaking did it. Gracias. This is what we traveled across the Atlantic Ocean for. We're finally here.
Yes.
Steve, we did it.
Finally. We made it.
It was so much work to get to this doorstep.
It was.
All right, let's go in, birthday boy.
Right over there.
I'll do that.
Boom. This neighborhood is beautiful.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
Welcome.
Hey,
Thank you.
nice to meet you. Tall.
I'm Agustin.
Steve.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Gio! Sorry we're a little late.
A little late.
How's it going, man?
There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Steve-O.
Happy birthday.
We've been in this hostel for 30 seconds. All right. Birthday cheers. Second shot in the hostel. Alright guys, me and Steve are already sort of drunk.
Yeah, welcome to my birthday.
It's Steve's birthday month.
I just want to say Hostel 1, by the way, we just checked in. We're going to be traveling all over to multiple locations, and I just want to live here. This is amazing.
It's a good place. We're going to head up to our rooms now, finally check in. We've just been sitting here drinking and planning our trip for the last hour. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of a video. This is our new friend Josh. Alright, we'll see Josh. Josh is from Straya.
Straya.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
He knows all about it. So we're here in Hostel 1. This is a company that's basically partnering us up together with us right now on our big Euro trip. We're going to get into all the details of what we're doing soon. But this is the end of this video. This video has been all about flight anxiety and being scared of flying. This is a big impactful video for me. I know that right now I might not be meaning it in the full intent, but it was a crazy journey. It was scary. This is something I built up for a year, so I'm proud that I was able to overcome it. And I hope that this video somehow helps one of you guys out there, at least one of you guys, who has some flight anxiety, who's scared of flying. It's possible, guys. We can do this. I'm slightly drunk right now because we're celebrating not only Steve's birthday, but we're celebrating the fact that we actually made it to Europe. Steve's getting naked. It's happening. It's all happening right now.
I'm trying to be quiet.
We're gonna go party our little hoses off right now.
Our hoses?
Hostel 1 is awesome. I'm gonna leave links in the description. I'm too drunk right now to figure out exactly what I want to say, but I'm gonna leave links in the description to book, partner up with them. We're gonna be working on a big project, so just keep an eye out. But there will be links in the description to stay with them, and free dinner in every hostel, and they'll party with you, and they'll take you on adventures.
Hold on. Can I just give you a little insight as to how he's standing right now? Look at this. What is going on?
Hostel 1, baby.
He's been like this for the past 5 minutes. All right, end your vlog. Go ahead.
All right. If you want to support this channel, you know what to do. Buy some merchandise down below in the description, or check out Hostel 1 in the description. Oh, we're in a foreign country now. Words of the day are back in Spanish. You know what the word of the day today is going to be, Steve?
Cerveza.
Cerveza. I was going to say tortuga.
Tortuga.
We'll do two words of the day today.
España, tortuga, Esteban.
So what does cerveza mean?
Cerveza means beer, and that's what we've been drinking since we got here.
And tortuga means turtle.
And that has
nothing to do with anything at all. Subscribe to Steve's channel as well.
It's my birthday.
It's his birthday. Go send him some love. We're gonna be traveling together for a while. So.
I can dance like this.
Oh my god! Wow, dude. What? I could never seen these dance moves before. Is that a happy birthday hour? Have you guys seen how I'm standing up? Just like 12 feet off the ground. Alright. I'll see you guys next one. I love you all the time.